Hi, it's time for another re-whitening video. Today we have something a little different. I had a customer contact me. I recently rebuilt his NuTone IM4006 Master Station, and he got that reinstalled and it's working well and he's happy with it. His IMA4406 was an upgrade of the house's original IM4006, which was the previous model, and when they did the upgrade they kept the original IS405 remote stations throughout the house. He's got 9 or 10 of them, I think. They work fine. He's cleaned the switches and cleaned the controls and they all function well, but he's got a couple locations where, because of the colors of the rooms, and one of them is sort of on a granite backsplash, I think it's in the kitchen or one of the bathrooms maybe. The granite is kind of a white and gray swirly kind of look, and his speakers are all the original NuTone, what they called Adobe White, and Adobe White is not bright white. Adobe White is more of a creamy color. It's not really almond, it's not really ivory, it's sort of halfway in between both of those. And in a couple of the rooms, the Adobe White doesn't work very well, and his wife doesn't like the way they look. So he contacted me and wanted to know, did I have any original style grills for the 405s in white? And I told him I would look through what I've got and let him know. He needs 2 of them, and what we have here are 3 grills. These are all from IS405s. Mid-80s through early 90s. These were all white, bright white to start with, or they didn't actually call the remote speakers bright white, they were just labeled as white as opposed to Adobe White. So white is white. These are all original, and since he needs 2 of them, and we're going to re-whiten them, but since the UV light box can hold 3, I'm going to do the 3rd one kind of as a test. So in best to worst, this one is the best of what I have. And then this one, and I know this is hard to see on the video because colors are different on screen than in real life. So this is the very best one. This is the next best one, and it has a little bit of discoloration, but it's not too terribly horrible. And then we have this one here, which is yellowed a great deal. In fact, this one is yellowed enough that, although it's somewhat yellower than Adobe White, it's much more like Adobe White than white. And just to show you that these were all white, let me flip this one over, and you can see on the back where it's been covered up, the plastic is still white. So you can see how much this has discolored. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do the same re-whitening process that we do on the Master Station faceplates, but we're going to do it on the remote stations, and then when they're done, I'm going to send him 2 of them. We're going to do the volume control knobs as well. The push buttons are chrome on those models, so that's not an issue, and then he'll just transfer over the working parts of his existing stations onto the back of these grills. So to do the re-whitening on them, it's necessary to get anything that we do re-whitening on down to his bare plastic faceplate. And so I've already taken the speaker cones off and the switchboards out, so all we have left are the plastics. And as I've done in other videos, the way you can really tell the shape that these are in now and then afterwards is we're back to compare and contrast. So I looked around at the shop to see what I had, and I came up with this. This is a NuTone. This is an IC401 white. This is an inside wall remote control. It's sort of the bottom half of a regular station. It doesn't have a speaker cone. This would be used in an application where this would be on the wall, maybe by the light switches or something, and then you would have some ceiling speakers for the music up above in a big room to spread out the sound. So this is a new old stock station. This is probably from 1992 or so, and it's brand new. It was in its original box, had never been opened up, and this is going to be our control. So if I hold this up to each one of these, you can get an idea. I said this was the very best one that I had, and it looks pretty good, but when you hold up the original white grill next to it, you can see that there is discoloration. And then if I hold it up to this one, the discoloration is even more apparent. And of course, when we get down here to this one, it's really, really obvious how yellowed this one has become. So that gives you an idea on the good, better, best compared to what a brand new old stock one looks like. What I'm going to do is these are going to go in the UV light box. I'm going to cover them up with the chemicals. It's going to take 24 hours, and then I'll take them out, wash them all off, dry them up, and shoot the second part of the video when they're done, and we'll compare and see how well they turned out. So I'll see you sometime tomorrow. That's all. See you soon. Hi, I'm back. It's been a couple days since I shot the first part of this video, and these are our 3 IS405 white speaker grills that I showed you in the first part. They're in the same order as the first part of the video. So we have our best, better, and the one that was hugely yellowed in the first part of the video. These went in the UV light box with the chemicals. They were re-whitened for 24 hours, and then I took them out, washed them, got all the chemicals off of them, and cleaned them all up. I did the knobs at the same time, so they're nice and clean, and I thought I would show you the end result. As you remember, if you watched the first half of the video just a few seconds ago, this was a very, very good one, almost brand new white. This one had a little bit of discoloration, and this one was very, very yellowed. And so as a comparison, here we have our NuTone IC401 white. This was the brand new one that I had, and if I hold it up against the grill, you can see perhaps that the brand new one, the IC401, it is probably a little more starker white than this one is, but they're very, very close. This one might be one tick off of this, and then when we go here, again, it's very, very close. It's always, I know it's hard for you to see probably because things vary in videos and on your computer monitor so much, but this one might be a tick and a half or 2 ticks off of the original white, and then this one is not quite as good as the first two, and that would be kind of expected because this one was so discolored to start with. I think the moral of this is when you compare against a perfect one, it's obvious to see the difference, and that's basically why I do it in the video. It gives you something to compare it against. But if you took any one of these and you walked into somebody's house who, let's say, had a yellowed one like what this looked like before we started, and you walked in with any one of these re-whitened ones and said, well, ma'am, how about this one as a replacement? Do you think that would do? Everybody's going to say yes. No one's going to say, well, I don't know, that's not quite as perfect as I remember what it looked like back in 1989, because honestly, people, you can't remember that kind of detail from that long ago. In the real world, all of these are perfectly acceptable to use. Since this is the very best one, or these two are the very best two, these are the ones I'm going to send my customer. This one I'll wrap up and put aside, and it'll get used somewhere else along the line. I just wanted to show you what the end result was. If you have yellowed and discolored remote stations and or master stations, this lets you know that there's something that can be done about it. I hope you found this interesting and perhaps helpful. If you have yellowed stations or a yellowed master station, you can get a hold of us, and I'll talk to you about the re-whitening process in great detail. If you like this video and you found it interesting and perhaps informative, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll get notifications when we post new videos. We try to do at least one video a week. Sometimes it's more. And if you subscribe, you'll get a notification that there's a new video. So that's all for today. See you on the next video.